Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We're here to celebrate some extraordinary accomplishments of our neighbors, friends, gentlemen all. I am here to tell you they are gentlemen all. I am so privileged and honored to be representing the Workforce Development Board in an exciting program just launched to give these men the opportunity to follow their dreams, to have some support while they're doing that, while they're building their lives back. And we're here tonight to celebrate their accomplishments on this journey so far. I say so far because they know, and all of us who support them know, that there's still a long way to go in this journey. And we intend, the City of Newark, the Workforce Development Board, everybody who's been here supporting them so far, the Department of Corrections who are here tonight and have been just key in launching this initiative. Everybody's here to continue the work of supporting these men as they figure out what they're going to do next, how they're going to contribute next, how they're going to help us build our community bigger, stronger, better for everybody. I want to take a moment to acknowledge, so that we don't forget it at the end, the people who have been doing this work, who put this program together, starting with our team, Ms. Katrisa McGee. It's not just putting this night together for the graduation, but imagining this program and really, with her heart, her whole self, serving every single day to make sure that it was a rich program, a substantive program, something that everybody would be proud of, especially the people who gave of themselves, put themselves on the line for this program. And I know you guys know that her every waking moment was attached to making sure that you would succeed. I also want to thank her team, Eva Anochi and Stephanie Porter. I don't see Stephanie right now in the room, but I know that she's here somewhere. And Ayana Shell. I also want to acknowledge Latoya Joseph. They're responsible for the entire program running for as long as it was able to run and as successfully as it ran. Without any further ado, one of the main champions for StartUp U is our Deputy Mayor, Rahman Mohammed, Head of Workforce for the City of Newark. He not only supported us in the idea of entrepreneurship as having to be part of what we do in workforce, but he made sure that no matter where his travels took him on Fridays when the guys were going to be at 990 Broad Street, that he carved out time to be there, to mentor, to support, to hear them, to give advice. And his passion for this work, you guys have seen evidence of it often. Let's bring the Deputy Mayor up so that he can run the show for us.
Thanks, Director Gay Lord. Listen, we are here, fellas. Give yourself. Man, this is a long, long time coming, man. Those Fridays, meeting with Katrisa, doing the workforce assignments, man, y'all have all made. I think we started with 31, and we are graduating 30. Listen, give yourself a round of applause. If I didn't thank Karen, I tell the men this often, Karen is probably one of the smartest women that I have met in my lifetime. The mayor always said, who's your number two? I mean, to be my number two, I am so blessed to have her as my number two. I mean, we go through our little, disagreements, but at the end of the day, we leave out that room. No one knows what those disagreements are, and we come out with a plan. And let me say that, this was one of her babies from the start. The thing that I love about Karen, because she came from an education background, She knows how to apply for those grants and go after the money, and that's exactly what a WIB director should be doing. And you know what? I am so proud that she went after this money with that doctor assessment and had put out with the Department of Corrections. She got that money and she hit the ground running with her team, Katrisa, and K-Ron's not here, but even K-Ron was part of it. And listen, I just want to say he did an amazing job. The teachers that were there, from Mr. Harris, who did the Ulster class aside, who was there, at, you know, y'all know me inside, got into it, you know. On the Friday meetings, listen, y'all sat there and listened to me for 2 hours on some Fridays, just talking, y'all just sitting there, just listening to me. And so, you know, to be able to stand that, the man tell you, once I start talking, it's hard for him. Sometimes you gotta get up and stop me. He's probably gonna get up in a minute. He's probably gonna get up in a minute and do it. But this is what this program is about, man. You know, I tell people often that if we're serious about reentry, and we're serious about people coming home and getting into society, we have to come up with unique programs to benefit all reentry clients when they come home from work, or we just playing around if we only deal with a few individuals that we targeting for reentry. Everybody coming home should have a second chance opportunity if they get their time with the businesses. Everybody. The problem is that most programs that exist today don't offer it to everybody. And it is programs like this, a unique program, because Dr. Sessom put money up and because the mayor has given me the opportunity to ask developers for money for the Workforce Development Board, and we had a developer that came up and put some money up on the table. We able to give individuals who went through entrepreneurship a startup fee. They put together a business, I understand, they put together a business plan. They had to stand before a group of people, present the plan, for the plan to be approved, for them to be able to graduate today and get this check. And I just want to give those brothers a round of applause that made it through that. Before I bring the mayor out, though, because this brother got an announcement for our next program, I want to bring up Brother Daniel from Baraka. For support, and then I'm going to bring the mayor up. Brother Daniels.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. My name is Daniel. I'm from Baraka Development. I have a prepared written statement. Good afternoon, everyone. Just want to congratulate everyone for taking the first step toward potential failure. The first step toward being judged by everyone in this room. The first step to freeing your mind to what is actually possible in life. It's never as lonely as it sounds, working on a dream, but it's hard. It's full of doubts, sacrifice, and no one but you knows at the end of the process what it really cost you. But I want to tell you, you should also be proud, because from these first steps that you're taking today, that Mayor Baraka and his incredibly able administration have done here, is to put beautiful breadcrumbs for you to follow your passions. This is a lifelong pursuit. It will make you a better father, a better brother, a better husband, a better everything. This pursuit has to be long-term in nature. You cannot expect immediate gratification. Learning, testing, retrying, and redoing, that's the real business of life. Never giving up. You have to expect it to take a while. But as it simmers, you will exceed every expectation you've ever hoped for yourself. So continue to dream, continue to pray, and continue to be grateful. Your next step is the one everyone will be watching, wishing they had the courage to dream like you, to just maybe reach what you're reaching for. So good luck, and in the spirit of Mayor Baraka's vision for the city, along with Baraka Development, we will be contributing another $50,000 next year. Amazing program administered by Deputy Robin Muhammad under our great leader, Ross Baraka, with the vision to push Newark forward, never back, forward. Thank you.
a lot, Brother Danny. Now, y'all know I'm coming for that check. I had to get him on record, man, you know. I deviated from the plan. It's my fault. Let me bring, I know the mayor's got to leave. I was trying to hurry up and get him out of here, but we got a few minutes with the brother. So let me bring up Sister Catrice McGee, bring in the introduction.
And I am so proud of all of my graduates. I need you guys to stand up. Yes. Stand up. And remain standing. You know, Ms. McGee, I'm long-winded, but I won't be. I'll be very, very brief. But I just wanted to get an overview of the program. These graduates here today, they work in various departments within the city. Affirmative action, engineering, water and sewer, DPW, and recreation and cultural affairs. And they worked from 8:30 to about 3:30, Monday through Thursday. And then they were with Saad and I every Friday. So not only did they have to hear me engage with them, motivate them, I am their biggest supporter. You all know that. Saad did the business acumen. These gentlemen all have their forklift certification. And through Mr. Richard Harris of Installations 3, every graduate is OSHA 30 certified. And corresponding members, we will still provide wraparound services, so you all know I am still here for you through employment, through vocational training, which we've had people come to talk to you all about. We've had some amazing speakers come and engage with the guys, our graduates, They talked about real estate, they talked about financial wealth, sustainability, making sure they build generational wealth for themselves and for their families. And I'm just so proud of you all. Mayor Baraka, we have some gentlemen who actually have their LLC already. We have a published author, and he has his books. We have a copy he's gonna sign for you and give to you. So these are the accomplishments of these graduates. Before I bring my partner in crime, Saad, up to the front to give remarks, I just want to say that towards the end of the program, not one, not two, but all of the directors that we had a partnership with expressed an interest to bring these graduates back to work for the city on a permanent basis. So my respect, my admiration, and again, you all know that I am your biggest supporter. Congratulations to all of you, and now I'll have Saad come up.
Fellas. Hey. You had to deal with me every Friday for 6 months. Now, in the very first week, every one of you brothers promised me that you would be here. And I just want to make space to honor that promise. Just honor that promise, because 31 men started this program and 30 stood up. You know, Brother Daniel and I were outside talking about this, and the magic, the sauce in this model is that Mayor Baraka, you've created an atmosphere where people can be bold, where people's leadership can shine. And you've also created an atmosphere where your deputy mayor and I can argue freely. You know, and that's the spirit of growth. That's the spirit of growth. Without dissent, there can be no progress, right? And the opportunity here was to create a program unlike any other program that's ever been hosted here in the city of Newark, right? When I first came home from prison, right, here after serving a 15-year sentence, I had never had a job. I'd never had a job. And I started working at a pizza shop, I started working at a payday loan company, and I started working cleaning up at a church. It wasn't until I was forced entrepreneurship by necessity. put my own stake in the ground and demonstrate and demand my own value, that I earned $2.7 million in my first year. Started a landscaping company, a micro enterprise, morphed to a commercial irrigation installation firm, sold it for 4 times asset valuation. Now here's the question. How many of these stories are told to the men and women that are inside serving time? How many of these stories come back behind the walls? Because I've not been behind the walls since I came home. These stories don't reach us. So we need to be inspired by seeing someone that's from us, that's done us, that will do us, and that'll help us to stand up our vision of ourselves. Because if we don't see ourselves in someone in front of us, the inspiration is lacking. The information is there, but the inspiration is what makes the information valuable. You have to be inspired by someone teaching you that this is the way to do it, and this is how to do it. And after that inspiration comes the hard work, right? The inspiration is a beautiful moment. After that comes the hard work. The first lesson that we talked about, it's interesting that you mentioned this in your first statement, was failure. Embrace failure. Be prepared for failure. Because failure is only a failure if you stop. But make no mistake about it. Business is going to come with failure. You will have circumstances. You will have situations. You will have things outside of your control that happen. And you will have to problem solve around it, grow, and become greater. But one thing that I know for a certain fact is that I've walked this journey with every one of you brothers as we were doing business plan and writing and figuring out how, when, what, where, and all of the questions that we needed answers for. And I see your greatness. Every single one of you. I see your greatness. Don't let this world and the difficulties that you're going to face undoubtedly dim your shine, ever. I love y'all.
So for the first time, y'all gonna hear me say, I agree with Side 100% on this one. Don't be shocked, Side. Listen, before I bring this brother up, I know he's going to say he's a great speaker. He's definitely better than me at the mic. But, you know, I have to say some words because I just think that he don't get enough credit for what he does or for what he allows us to do to help the residents of the city, and it's just true, you know what I'm saying? And you know, the crazy thing is because we've always been activists, we don't even promote it. It's like we just do it because it's the right thing to do. So we, you know, I had told when we did this program, we was just gonna have another program. And I said, no, Karen, we're not on this one. We're going to let the mayor shine on this one because this is what the public need to see because we need to do more of this. We need to raise more money for this. And so he has to get up here and see this. He has to speak about this because we got to ask for more. You know what I'm saying? We can't get less. Like I said, we're so used to just doing things because we come from an activist background that we don't really look for to run in front of the cameras all the time to say, hey, look what we did, look what we did. And we just pass a lot of the good things that has happened in the city. And then you hear all of the nonsense that come that he has to deal with from people who always say what's not happening because they just want to talk. But this is really what's happening, and we don't say it enough. When he first came in to office and me and him met, one of the things he focused on was workforce. That's the reason why he put a deputy mayor there. I came from a labor background, and he wanted to concentrate on how it was we were going to get more people into training, more people into jobs. One of the things that we did was we put on in the order, we changed the ordinance to say that money that came from developers, we just didn't want them to meet affirmative action requirements. We also wanted to make contributions to the workforce, and the money would go directly to the Workforce Investment Board. Because understand, before the mayor came into office, no fines, nothing from a developer. There was never a collection. I want y'all to understand. There was never a collection of anything in affirmative action when it comes to a developer as it relates to workforce. I want y'all to understand, or a fine, by the way. I just want y'all to be clear. A fine or workforce. There was nothing from anywhere when it came to affirmative action. But we changed that. I specifically said to him, I want you to leave affirmative action with me because I think it should be attached to workforce. He allowed for that idea to happen. And the first thing we did was we put it in an ordinance to say that if developers strayed or if they see that they can't meet requirements, that they can offset that by giving money to the Workforce Investment Board, going directly. Understand, not through the city. He could have said, nah, Rock, I want that money to go into the city. A lot of mayors would have did that, I'm telling you right now. He said, no. We sent it to the Workforce Investment Board, which is a separate nonprofit outside of the city, where we use those funds to go directly to servicing residents, rather we paying union dues, rather we buying buses, rather we buying tools for the job, rather we sending people to training program. There are so many things that we've been able to do with those dollars. This is just another thing that we've used workforce, money that we've gotten from the Affirmative Action Office, which is the developer come through, to give money directly to you. We are already on staff. We already get paid by the city. They don't pay our salary. This money goes directly to the people that is impacted by it. And this brother has allowed for that vision to go through. And I just want to give him his credit for it because it's done some amazing things and we need to get more. And so, brother, Mayor Baraka, come up and get your shine, brother.
Thank you. Rockman do talk too long, man. And he don't never agree with me, so he agree with you in public. We be in meetings, he make his business to cuss me out. But I just want to thank the deputy mayor, obviously Karen Gaylord, everybody from Workforce who made this a reality. I appreciate you, Dr. Sessoms, and everybody from Department of Corrections who thought it not robbery to make a grant available, because I, thank God, I believe in a God of second and third and fourth and fifth chances. And it's interesting that the Department of Corrections gives us money to make sure people don't come back, to put themselves out of business because there's a huge industry in locking us up. Particularly us, the people that look like us, is a huge industry in making sure there are people eating all over the country because we making mistakes over and over and over again, and they're feeding their families and sending their kids to beautiful schools and everything else because of the mistakes that we've made. So I appreciate that. I also appreciate Wasim Barai, and I don't know if you guys know what Barai Development is. They work with Shaquille O'Neal. They build the building where the old Science High was on, what's that street? Rector, that's his first building. The second building they just completed on Mercado Highway and West Market Street, the big, huge, one of the largest residential properties in the city, and they're getting ready to build another building on the waterfront here in the city of Newark. And these guys could basically come here and make their money and go about their business. But Wasim, who's Egyptian, and working with Shaquille O'Neal, who's our brother, make a concerted effort and decision to make sure they hire Newark residents, make sure, because Rockmont be on their back, but also donate to programs like this, which is incredibly, incredibly important. And the work that the deputy mayor does is essential because we wouldn't have the funds to be able to pay people to do this kind of entrepreneurial work or create a workforce on wheels bus that goes to people's communities and neighborhoods and hire people on the street right outside. They don't have to come downtown and catch the bus and do all these other things. They can go right to the neighborhood and do this. This is important to me because I was born and raised in this city. This is my community. This is where I live at. It's where I love. My best friends and worst enemies live here in the city of Newark. Matter of fact, I thank God for giving me the opportunity to be the mayor of a city I was born and raised in and be able to deal and talk to people who I grew up with. I mean, it's important to me because, look, it's cats that I knew when I was a kid, did 30 years. They come home, they never had a job before. They go see the mayor of the city, and God would have it that the mayor of the city is the dude they hung out with on Avon and 14th Street, right? And while they locked up, they's like, damn, my man is the mayor. And you got to understand what somebody would be thinking at that time, who remembered me at 16 or 17 years old in front of Yusef Steak and Take, who realizes I might have hope when I come home, right? Who get an opportunity to work for DPW. Ain't nothing heavy, but look, this is something I've never had a 9 to 5. I never went to work. I believed what they was telling me in the street and found out 30 years later that all of it was a lie. And I have to figure out how to get my life together. Everybody don't have that testimony or that story or that opportunity. And, you know, just thank God that you're able to take care of it now, and everybody is not in this room. And I don't believe in coincidences or accidents or happenstance. I think everybody that's in this room is supposed to be in this room. And your job is to figure out why you're here. That there's a reason that you're here and somebody else is not, because there are a lot of people that wish they would and are not. There are people that are not in these seats that could be. There are people that would love to mix and mingle with the folks in this room that would never have an opportunity to or never have a chance to. They come right home and go back in 3 days, 4 days, a month later, and trying to figure out how to get these opportunities. Somebody put you in this room for a reason, right? And 30 people out of 31 is like miraculous. It's like never happened. So all 30 of you are supposed to be here. Now your job between now and tomorrow or the next day after that is figure out why I'm in this room. Like, what did I do to benefit from this? What luxury do I have? What privilege has come my way to be able to be in this space? Like, what do I owe God now? That he gave me this opportunity to be in this space, because there's a whole bunch of other spaces you could be in, and all of them are not as good as this one. Some of them are very ugly and deceptive and dangerous. You know that. I don't got to tell you that out here somewhere, anywhere, anything can happen that's crazy, but you got an opportunity to do something different. That everybody don't get that in their lap every day. That's not what happens to people, not in our community all of the time, in the spaces that they've given us to work in. And if it doesn't work for us, they blame us for conditions that they set that is organized for us to fall down. And most of us fall down, and then they make a bet that you're going to fall down again. And so we make sure we lose that bet, and the people getting rich because they bet on the bet, you know. They bet like you football players, and football is 100% injury rate. That means when you play football, you're going to get hurt, right? So they take that bet that you're going to get hurt. The bet is that you're going back. That's the bet. The bet is you're going to fail. The bet is something else is going to happen. So you got to make these people lose their bet. Or worse, you make the devil a liar. That's right. And you continue to do what you're supposed to do. Right? That's it. I like to do that every day, you know. Every day that I get up in the morning and come to work and do whatever, the devil becomes a liar. When I go down to the U.S. Senate subcommittee and testify because of things we did in Newark, the devil is a liar because we changed lead service lines, and there are people that are smarter, better, richer, look better than me. They thought was going to fix these problems, but we fix them in Newark all of the time. And Rock said, I'm not on TV saying this and saying that, because that's not why we're doing this. We're doing this because we're trying to help you help yourself, because helping you helps me, helps us all. My kids and family live in Newark. It makes sense for me to help you because they're going to be on these streets. And anything can happen on the way to school, on the way home, or going to the store, the way back from the store. Anything can happen. It just makes sense. It ain't got nothing to do with the job itself or me thinking I'm special. My mama live here on this block still, Clinton Avenue and 10th Street to this day. She still go to the store by herself, so I got to make sure it's good down there. You know, that's my feeling about why we need this program and why I need you to be successful. I need you to be better than successful. I need you to be great and work and make it happen, right? So the last thing I'm going to say is what the brother started off with about failure. It took me 16 years. I ran for office so many times and lost so many times. I ran for office at 24 years old. You know, when I first came back home from Newark, from Howard University. When I came home, I didn't come home from jail. I came home from a different college, but I know that's college too. You get a different kind of education. But I ran for mayor at 24 and lost, and ran for 16 years. I lost over and over and over again. But I'm from Newark, you know. I'm not afraid to lose. I told the guys in a meeting the other day that I was more, these people don't scare me. I was more afraid walking home from Youssef Steak and Take on Avon at 12 o'clock in the morning going home than I'm afraid of these people. So at the end of the day, I've seen it face to face. So failure is not something that scares me. You know, sometimes we're scared of winning. So we do everything we need to do to fail because we used to failure. So we like to be in that and complain about how things don't work for me, right? So, and the brother said, failing is only failure if you don't get back up and do it again. So I know you guys are going to do it again. So I appreciate you for being in this program. I appreciate you for sticking it out. And I know some of you want to do some stuff after this. A couple of people already talked to me about making sure that those jobs that have been offered to them are still there. We can figure that out as well. Rockman is here, I'm here, so we can figure out how to make sure that you sustain that and make people make their word their bond. But I don't want you to rest there, so because this is about entrepreneurship. So at the end of the day, you can't just be satisfied with what anybody gives you. You should always be thinking about what you can do more besides the things that people have given you because you made it to this level. You wasn't born or created just to make it to this level. There's a lot more for you to do. I think this is the first step in that. I know some of us don't believe it, but believe it, there's a lot in store for you. So God bless you. Thank you all for being a part of this program, and thank everybody else for making it happen.
Thanks, Mayor Baraka. He always gives an inspirational speech. He is a leader's leader. That's why I quit my job to come work for him. Y'all know I had a good job. I was good. He probably regret it, but, you know. Yeah, I think when he got elected, he probably said, why is Rock quitting the union president to come work for me? He stay his butt over there. So listen, I want to bring up, if we did not have individuals that were in position who believed that programs like this needed to exist, especially in the Department of Corrections, because I can guarantee you that there are, outside of the State Department of Correction, there are other localized Department of Corrections that, to me, don't do anything to help people when they come home. So the fact that we have an individual at the top of the pyramid in the Department of Correction that understands the importance of giving people second chance opportunities and not just talking about it like it's the newest thing, because too many people, it's fluff. It's, you know, it's a fad. You know, reentry sounds great to them. Across their lips is reentry, reentry, but they're not really putting anything behind it. The fact that Dr. Sessoms put something behind it shows you that she's serious in this business. And so we want to call up Dr. Sessoms to give her remarks.
Good evening, everyone. Can we try again? Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I'd like to honor the Honorable Ras Baraka as mayor. Are there any other elected officials in the room? I know the councilwoman just stepped out, but I also want to give acknowledgement to the other elected officials in the room and say what a pleasure it is to see you all again. So the mayor came up here and he laid it down like a Baptist preacher, so he kind of took all my thunder. But I want to say this. I know it seems odd and strange to see someone from the Department of Corrections so invested in the success of those coming home from prison. But I'm going to tell you something. This phenomenon is not new. I intentionally hire people who have that same philosophy as I do, because as the mayor alluded to, folks are returning to my community as well. And I have an obligation to make sure that my community is safe. I have an obligation to make sure that the men and women who come out of correctional facilities have an opportunity to succeed. With that being said, one weekend in, this is 2023, so it had to be 2021, it was a Friday, I got a phone call from a rep from the governor's office saying that, did I have any ideas that I wanted to pitch, because they were going to take some open ideas. And I said, of course, I always got ideas. Do you have money? So they said, well, if you can get me a proposal by Monday, we could talk. One thing you need to know about Dr. Sessoms, don't try me. Don't try me, because I will deliver. So I spent that whole weekend, I canceled all my plans, I wrote the proposal, I sent it to the governor's office. The proposal was to get money at the Department of Corrections and to not keep it, to give it all to the community. Gave it to them. I figured I'd get a couple thousand, $100,000, because, I have a pretty good track record for grant writing. I've only lost one grant in 20 years. I got a phone call after I submitted it saying, yeah, we're going to give you $3 million. The second fiscal year, I didn't even submit a renewal, and appropriations gave me $7 million. And so we are now in the process of putting out the RFPs, which is a fancy word for applications, for the next round of funders. And clearly, we want to see Newark continue to be a partner with us. In the first round, we gave Newark, the city of Newark, $100,000, and we gave the Workforce Development Board $200,000. So if you're doing the math, that's $300,000. I do keep receipts. I do, because ultimately I'm responsible for this money. And I put my neck out there when I said to all of those legislators, if you give me this money and do right by my people, I promise you we will prove all the naysayers wrong. So we can't let me down. And you can't let your families down, because we want this type of funding to continue so that others can benefit from the opportunities that you all have. 32 community-based organizations receive part of that $7 million, 32 partners. And some of those partners do provide entrepreneurial training. And so, sir, I do want you to come in and speak, because we do have a speaker series. So you are welcome to come into our facility anytime, connect with me afterwards. We'll make that happen because it's happening now. So I just want to congratulate those who are completing this program, to let you know I'm proud of you. Some people say, can any good thing come out of DOC? And you would have to know the reference from where that comes from. But I tell you, all good things come out of DOC. Everybody who's in there is not against those who were in there. You have some sojourners who are in there fighting on your behalf. And I'm proud to be one of those sojourners. I'm proud to partner with the city of Newark. I remember the first time I had a telephone conversation with your deputy mayor, and he tried to boss up on me. I said, ooh, he must not know about Doc. He must not know about me. But since then, the relationship has been great. And again, I want to continue to see Newark grow. Maybe you'll go from $300,000 to $500,000 the next round of fundings. This money is offered to all cities, all urban cities. So we currently have partnerships with Newark, Trenton, Patterson, and Orange has recently also received money for us, but we are trying to expand this to other cities. So if you're in the room and you're actually not from Newark and you're from an urban city, could you please call your mayor and say, when these applications come out in November, could you do right by us? Do the work, put the application in so we can get the same opportunities. And I'll be around afterwards. I can talk to you a little bit more about that. But again, I don't want to belabor the time because it's about the graduates, but I just want to say what an honor and a blessing to be a part of this. And I'm so grateful for the invitation. So thank you all.
I'm going to call Katrisa up to do this next part. I did want to thank Councilwoman Reentry and where's he at? Councilman Crump. I was about to bring you up, but you want to represent, because I don't see Brother Crump in here, so I was about to bring you up, but you want to. Yeah, oh God, here we go. So I'm going to bring Councilwoman Reentry up to say a few words to represent the council. because I did invite other people on the calendar. Unfortunately, it's my fault that I didn't send out a direct invite, but I was able to invite a few of them today, and 2 of them showed up, and I just want to thank them for that. You know, Councilman Crump and Councilwoman Roundtree, please come up and say a few words for the council.
A few words, man. Listen, you know, God is the best of planners, and I had 3 other stops to go when he stopped by my office a couple of hours ago. And I said, you know what, this is more important than any place I'm supposed to be. I won't say supposed to be because I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be here to congratulate the 30 of you that persevered and did what you were supposed to do. You don't know what you're supposed to do until you do it. Then you realize this is what I'm really supposed to be doing. I tell the young people, your current location does not determine your destination. And some of you were in positions, whenever that might have been, in the other college that the mayor spoke about, that you probably couldn't even see the forest for the trees at some point in time. But look at what God has done for the 30 of you. And if don't nobody else make some noise in this room, y'all need to make some noise for what you've done. I mean, they need to hear you all the way down to City Hall because God blessed you to persevere. Listen, to Deputy Mayor Rockmine, to Dr. Sessoms, who know how to get that cash. Yeah, y'all need to be making some noise for her, too. To Sister McGee, who, oh, look, y'all need to, let me say this. I'm going to use my outside voice. The truth of the matter is you've overcome some things that you probably never thought you would.
Yes, preacher.
Really. And God has blessed you, and this is not where it stops. You can be anything you want to be, do anything you want to do, and the only thing that's going to be in the way of it is you.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, at the time, I tell you a story about a lady who came in the 30s, but we ain't going to, it ain't me, but I ain't going to. It was my mother. We ain't going to tell that maybe another time. I'll tell everybody to speak peace. But to thank you. Thank Mariah, thank all of those who sold, because it takes all of us. One person can come and encourage you, but it takes a team to really work, because from day to day things change, from minute to minute things change, from hour to hour your thoughts change. At any given moment somebody can say the wrong thing to you, and you decide to hell with this, I'm not going to do it. That's real talk. But no matter what happened between Monday and Friday you were where you needed to be. And out of all of that, you're here today to receive your reward from what you did, but this isn't your last reward. So keep that in mind, that there is more after this. This is, as long as you're breathing, there's more. And that more means you're going to accomplish more, you're going to gain more, you're going to have more, because you want to leave a legacy that nobody is trying to hallucinate at your homegoing celebration.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. We want to talk about how you overcame. And it's not what you used to be, because all of us used to be something. Some of us just won't tell it. Some of us been to jail and hope don't nobody find out we spend the night there. And for what? I'm just saying. Some of us walk around with these big titles, and they play our life on the screen, we run up under the table.
Amen.
Lord, please don't let them know that used to be. That's real talk.
I know it.
I really just spoke to say congratulations. On behalf of all city legislators, Monica McIver being our president, all the board representatives and all the at-large, we know that you're going to be an asset to the city of Newark, and we pray to the country. So I pray God's speed upon all of you, and may your future years be your best years.
Yes.
God bless you.
And the mayor accused me of talking a lot.
He said I'm number 2.
Man, listen, man, before, I really want on this session to bring up Dr. Sessoms, Katrisa, Karen Gaylord side to give the brothers their diplomas, and the brother representative from Bore to come up and get a presentation. Listen, y'all have heard from me, throughout this 6 months a lot. But, I often tell people that, when folks come home and they see where I'm at now from where I was when I was doing things that wasn't too good, a lot of people, I tell people all the time, I hear the stories because some of my friends are still in the prison system. And when first thing they come home to my office and, y'all know where Rock at? Y'all know what Rock doing? Blah, blah, blah. Come on. Most of them come home, the first thing they say to me is, I want to do what you doing. They see me behind the desk, so they want to do what I'm doing. I'm like, you can do it. I don't have a problem with that. You actually can do it, but you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. It took me 30 years to sit in this chair. Now, if you put 30 years in it and you get here, then great. And maybe you might do it before me, but you got to start someplace. You have to put the same amount of time you did in making mistakes, you have to put into correcting those mistakes. And you will see what comes out from bearing that fruit. Once you do it, you'll see. There will be a reward. There's a reward. There is a penalty when you do bad things, but there is also a reward when you do good things. And you spend the time and changing your life and doing the right thing, providing for your family, being productive, I promise you that you're going to see results from that. But if you just give up and throw your hands up in the air and don't do the legwork because we can't do it for you, you don't do the legwork, then guess what? You'll be back making the same mistakes. And I don't think that's something none of us want to see. I definitely don't want to see you back behind those walls. We want to see you out on these streets doing these kids need help. Your kids out here dying. Your grandkids out here dying. They're out here listening to some crazy music, some crazy stuff being done up out here. And they need your guidance. They need you home. They need you on this side of the wall. You have to now give that guidance. You got to be those mentors. It starts with you. You got to start somewhere. So all I'm telling you is congratulations. Take the seed money. Do the right thing. If we get another grant from Dr. Sussman, I hope it's more. And trust me, I'm going to try to get another developer to add to what Borat doing so we can give more. So let's go, folks. Let's start.